One that has any feeling of, you know, like, okay, what is good in world, what is the best fashion, you know, yeah, it's obviously Gyru's. So this is an anime about a guy that has died of 2017 Summer of Anime, brought to you here by the power of live short, and we're going to go over different animes in the audience popularity. So we're going to go like, you know, My Hero Academia is #1 here. It's also my #1, so that's fine, and we're going to go down to them. But I will do my #3s first though. Then I look forward to the most. And well, My Hero Academia is #1, so then we're gonna go with Hajimete and then it's new game. I freaking love new games. I'm gonna jump down to new game after this, and we're gonna follow the list. However, though, I wanna mention that, you know, okay, My Hero Academia, obviously the best anime right now. You know, if you saw last week with Eureka, it's an amazing episode. But I wanna mention even tomorrow they do actually have the OVA of My Hero Academia, which I do believe, as it says here, is based on the manga. Also, you probably can't watch it if you're only an anime watcher. Probably will actually reveal what's gonna happen, right? But obviously, if you're gonna watch that, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. It's actually released like in 1 day from now, pretty much, from doing this video. So it's gonna be really, really exciting to see that thing. It's gonna be like a really better, you know, anime to that. So anyway, yeah, My Hero Academia #1, obviously, fantastic anime. You should watch it. If you haven't watched it right now, start watching it. Or go back and watch season 1 last year. I mean, I cried for episode 4. I cried with Shinso's backstory. This season is an amazing anime. Absolutely the best anime right now. Anyway, let's skip quickly down here though. And I just want to talk about must watch. New Game is an amazing anime about Aoba, the stars of the game company. Season 2 with them. And she's very young and so on. People complain about, that's Game. Actually, it makes complete sense. I worked in game for a couple of years, right? And I even had Japanese companies asking me to work for them way before I was graduated. Like, oh, you can come here, and you know, but there was like small companies and so on. And eventually started working at Blizzard instead of in Japan. Also, Japan was more exciting, but the job offer I had all about. So that is not that uncommon that she can start working right after school, even without having some kind of higher master's degree or whatever, right? Because they really want to give people a chance in Japan. Like, go here, you have this, work hard, and if you can do it. So it actually isn't that uncommon, actually. People complain, oh, you don't learn to do games in anime. Don't get me wrong, but so that the leaking, the bug testing, and so on actually are kind of, I think them extra funny because I do actually relate to them. And obviously, I'm also a pretty girl, and I work with also girls, so you know that also. But like, new game is of course very, very cute. It's very, very funny. I mean, I really like New Game. Has, you know, I love them. She's my favorite character. Her and Umi, especially the relationship together, right? It's just really, really good. But the thing is that with New Game is that it's just like quirky enough, special enough to be like, okay, I can buy this happening with them, but they aren't too extreme. So this feels like a slice of life, an actual like relatable anime, like real life anime. And I love such a life anime. It's a really good anime, really, really good anime. Absolutely recommend it. For me, is I guess like, My Hero actually read the manga, so like this is the one I probably most about actually. But anyway, let's go up to the top again. And so My Hero, yeah, #1. And then actually, let me say that way, but I'm considering this. I haven't watched for me and Enrique, leftover. Quickly go down here. This is something I'm skipping, a follow up. People say it's good. Then we have this anime that everyone seems to love. Shin Empowerment, Virgin Soul, which I haven't watched either, also leftover. So then, my #3, Hajimete no Gal, okay? It's a gyro anime. It's an anime about gyros. Gyros, and obviously, that is, you know, that is the best shit ever. And one that has any feeling of, you know, like, okay, what is good in world, what is the best fashion, you know, yeah, it's obviously gyros. So this is an anime about a guy that has, you know, it's like, you know, kind of sad by bullied, doesn't have a girlfriend and so on, and people are like, okay, but go and ask the super sexy, like slutty gyro girl in our classroom, like maybe she will take you because you have no friends and so on, right? And it's like, okay, I'm actually gonna do it, guys. And of course, they ask her out or whatever, right? And okay, spoil here, but like basically, and she's like, oh yeah, let's do it, right? Because she's a slut, pretty much. She's a guy. No, but like, no, but it's really interesting. Seems to be really funny, quite hilarious anime, and it has, you know, like I really love the character design. Obviously, I'm biased here because gyro is the best fashion to have in Japan, but it has some really nice, you know, characters. Some really nice, of course, very like sexual romance story. You know, it's funny and it's super. But I just love the character design of all the gyro characters, right? It's really good. So yeah, like that's gonna be a good anime, I think. And after that, we have Gamers, There's another one like similar to New Game then. It's about people that play games and so on. No, but that's not similar, but it's kind of like, yeah, okay, they have a gaming club, some kind of romance school. It actually does sound pretty bad, to be honest with you. But I'm gonna pick it as considering, because obviously, you know, I'm a big gamer, with games and so on, so obviously I have to give it a chance. But I don't think this anime will be good actually, gamers. I checked it out a little bit, it seemed okay. So I'm very iffy. I'm gonna give it a chance and we'll see what happens, but I don't think it's good. Then we have this Fate, I can't say it, Apocrypha, which is another Fate Stay Night thing. I mean, if you're really into it, I have a friend, he watched everything with Fate Stay Night, he played all the games, so on. He's always gonna watch it. If you like that whole universe, you probably like this thing. I have never got into it, and you know, they have like, you know, 20 animes, right, or games or something, and there's so much content to take in there. This is a spin-off though, so you probably can watch it easier, I suppose, but I'm saying that if you haven't like gotten into that whole franchise already, this is a important anime for you, not an anime for me at least. It's like showing me too many references and yeah, like, I don't know, you know, yeah. Then we have this anime, which is called Isekai wa Smartphone no Tomini. This is actually, I'm considering anime because it's kind of like, I don't know, it's about a guy that he gets into another world, kind of like a Konosuba. It's a new game over it, sorry, no game, no life, I mean. And, you know, generally it's like, yeah, we have this guy, and he, you know, it's a kind of harem, he's basically him and all the girls. And the plot is that he also has a smartphone with him. And it's a medieval world, so he can use the smartphone. Actually, it runs to a lot of Re:Zero than with, you know, in Subaru having that smartphone. But it's actually having more, like, power in this than what it had in Re:Zero, because he could just use it kind of like a lightning. Didn't actually do much for him. So that's kind of his power. I don't know, it actually sounds pretty bad. I looked up into it, used to read like the first, you know, which novel thing and so on. And I was like, yeah, kind of like that. I don't say too much. I don't think it's gonna be that good. So what I said earlier, yeah, it's like those my number 3s are pretty much what I'm really excited about. This, however, is an anime that I first was like, huh? And yeah, so, but I read the first like 5 chapters and actually liked it a lot more than I read it. And so this is an anime about a guy that lives in the future of Japan, I guess, because it's in Japan. And people aren't fucking enough. Probably because there are 2 gyros there. So they're gonna have like, okay, we're gonna have force everyone at like age 15, 16 or whatever, something like that. And they're gonna get married. Yeah, the state is gonna marry you after like some kind of personality / DNA thing. And you have to, you know, get kids, right? That's gonna be the law pretty much. Yeah, so they actually watched Nitsuko and so on, because he has, of course, a girl he's in love with in the class, but he gets a fiance, you know, at like 16th birthday or something, right? Which is this blonde girl here. And the important thing with anime, I would say, is the relation between him and his, like, you know, wife and his you know, the life, right? Like, if the wife, his forced wife, isn't fun enough and so on, then it would be good. But I read the first volume, kind of so on, and I kind of liked her actually. He actually, I'm not gonna spoil too much here, but he actually does confess pretty much right away to the girl he liked, which I really liked. It made it feel more like, okay, so it's gonna be a triangle drama, but one of them doesn't actually know, kinda, for like, you know, like 100 episodes. He actually kind of does it right away. It makes it a little more, you know, serious, and they're both, I mean, the girl he likes also has, you know, has to get married to a man eventually, and so on, right? It's actually pretty interesting. Might be good. I think it's gonna be pretty good actually. The more I read it, the more I liked it actually. But I didn't like that much. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I think it's a horrible anime. I should do a video about it actually, and I promised to do that, but I didn't have time, and because I didn't like it that much. I mean, I really didn't like it that much. But the thing is that it's not as bad so you can laugh at it. It's more like it's just kind of boring, right? It's just mundane. So I don't even bother doing like a full review. It was like, whatever, it's just boring. As I mentioned earlier, the problem with this anime is that it's just like really normal people. They still manage to do stupid shit that they shouldn't do because it shouldn't be that stupid. Doesn't make any sense if they aren't like, you know, Lucky Stars, manga, or whatever, so kind of weird personality. They're like very, very ordinary, and they still do what all the anime characters does, right? And that doesn't make any sense at all for me. I really hate that. And it's just kind of boring. And they claim it's such of life anime pretty much, like common sense of life. But they have this like general agenda of like, okay, we have to save the town for this tourism thing. And that makes it more of an agenda-driven anime. So if you compare, for example, new game, where it's like, yeah, we have to make this game. You know, you're sitting at work, right? That's such of life, because even though they have one task to do it generally, they're never like, oh shit, if you don't do this, everyone's gonna get killed. Don't that feeling, right? It's just like, you know, normal workflow kind of days. This anime has the kind of urgency all the time, but the characters are super boring, and it's so boring task to do. I think this is a horrible anime, if you ask me. And it's just like a really bad, boringly bad. Not like funny bad, it's boring bad. And then we have this anime, Kakegurui, an anime that I actually look forward to a lot. It is like, yes, but it's anime. The problem is that it might be really good. It might be really good anime, but I can't tell. So it's like, this might be the best anime coming. I don't know. It's a gambling anime, psychological anime. I love that. I'm a huge fan of Akagi. You know, I love Akagi. Even more, I like Kaji, from the same author. Such a good anime about people gambling, like Rock Pop 6 or Yanken, but on life on death, right? And like they have these weird games. It's like if you fail now, I will cut your ear off, and like you lose 3 fingers if you lose this game and so on, or take your blood. I think it's a really, really badass anime. The both are really good. I recommend them. Absolutely watch the animes. So good anime. But I mean, this anime seems to be in that direction, so it might be really, really good. But it also might be really bad, like potentially. It depends on how the main character should be evil, and I like that. But also, of course, they have to have the games actually make sense, right? It has to be cool twists, how to beat other people and so on. So it's very interesting. It might be really good. And lastly, I want to recommend One Out, about baseball, but more about psychology and tricking people. One Out is an amazing psychological sport anime. Not very much about sport. It's much more similar to Akagi, about, you know, playing baseball, but like it's gonna throw high or low pretty much. It's very, very interesting. This anime sounds a lot like One Out and so on. So it might be good. It might be good. I'm hoping it's good, because I love those animes. I really love those animes. So hopefully it's good. Then we have a new game again, which I think should be much higher up. Then we have this like whatever third version or something kind of lower beat anime. And then we have this anime. I'm gonna watch it. It's like the first week of it. I don't recommend anime. It's probably like a skip. Kasugi talking Rambu. It's another one of this like, yeah, let's go to medieval time. Not medieval times, but like, okay, late feudal, end of feudal time in Japan. We're gonna fight with some swords, we're gonna shoot some people, you know, it's Ronin Kenshin over again, but with more boring characters, like samurais in the end. Doesn't look very promising. It has some cool animation though. I don't know. This is one of the animations you kind of like, it might be good. I read the first volume of it. Or it's a bit like a game, but I read like whatever the supportive they have, and it was like, it looked okay. It looked okay. I don't think it's gonna be that good. Then we have this anime. It's another like weird. I'm skipping this anime. I read the first of it. It sounds really boring. It's not one of these like, okay, it's a school where everyone is the best except the main character that is stuck in class F or D or E or whatever they call it here, something like that. And it's like, yeah, and everyone's bullying him. But there's classes abilities, and he meets a girl with similar, and it's like, I think this is dumb. I think this is been, you know, played to death. These kind of animes where you have like some kind of outcast, prison school, you know, whatever, right? It's one of those, but less extreme. It's just like, it looked, I read the first thing, it looked really boring. I don't recommend it. Then we have this thing, which is just like knights and magic. This is basically Gundam in medieval time. No, but this is like mechas, but they're fighting in medieval times. So that they have like knight mechas, like, you know, champion mechas, and they fight with like lance and swords or so on, axes. So it's like mechas that can't fly, but it kind of can fly. It looks, if you love mechas, you might like this. But to me, it looked honestly retarded, because it's like, yeah, we have the technology to build, you know, like huge mechas to fight, right? But we're still living in like medieval stone houses. So it's like, this makes no sense. So it's like magical mecha. I don't know. It looked horrible. Not horrible, but it looked just like, oh god, the premise of this is just. And we have seen this like house type before, right? Mechas fighting other mechas. It just, I don't think it's good. Then we have this thing actually, which I'm actually gonna watch, and it surprised me. So it's called Sudare Children, and I was like, wow, this sounds bad. It's on a weird relationship, but I read it. I read the first 10 chapters of the anime, or the manga, of course, 2 days ago, and it actually was quite funny, like really funny, so much. The first scene we see here is actually really, really funny, and probably it's like a 4-panel, like 4-komu manga. So they do like one yoke of it, right? And then do another yoke with more characters. And I didn't feel like I connected to any character because they kept changing the characters. So the first volume, they had like 20 different characters. Changed like every of these 4 panel had 2 new characters pretty much. So that's an issue. This anime is very like it's either gonna be really funny or it's gonna drop dead after like 3 episodes because you're gonna lose interest in the characters if you keep new and new. But I guess they're gonna like keep spinning. So to me, it reminds me of Nishiyo. Everyday life, which is like, we have these characters, you do quirky stuff, and then every week we see some more quirky stuff with each character. Like, okay, President doing this guy with the hair, he's being bullied over there, the principal is fighting the deer again, yes, that kind of thing. This is how this manga felt to me. So it might be really good. But anyway, like the first scene here is about a girl trying to confess to a boy she likes, and he likes her back, but she's super, she's super afraid. Super lack of confidence, and she's like, and he's like, I guess she likes me, but should I say that I like her back? No, then I will take her, then I will ruin it for her, because she's trying to confess to me first. It's like, damn it, I have to pretend I don't like her, and like, it's weird. However, though, some of those 4 panels weren't that funny. So it's a very hit and miss anime, but I'm giving it a chance. I do think, though, it's going to be better animated than in a manga, right? 4 panel humor is usually better animated. So I do think that's going to be better. So I look for it. Then this is another... okay, so Nora told you is about like an ecchi, magic cat. I don't even bother about this. This sounds... I looked at it. I read the first thing of it. It looked really bad. This is another one that also looks really bad. So Nest to Trap, right? So Nest to Rare. So it's about cheating, it's about like romance, girls trying to do with guys, so it's like that's thing. It's basically some kind of like, triangle or bigger drama out of characters. One of the girls is trying to screw with both of their boys, or like she's trying to make her boyfriend jealous by doing some other guy, and it's kind of very typical drama romance, and by like cheating. It's named Traps, so you be trapped, but there's no traps in it. Like, why's no traps in it? Now, I read the first chapter of the manga, it didn't look good at all. Like, it looked so plain. But it might have some good scenes, but I don't know, it's very like drama heavy with no really interesting characters. It's basically like 4 I think things for me, when this manga, and I think it's gonna be how this, that they are basically all the characters are very unlikable. Pretty much like all douchebag characters just trying to fuck everyone else, right? And it's just like, oh god, it sounds really boring. I can't play to the characters at all. All these horrible characters. And then we have this thing. It's Yikara no Shishira. I don't recommend either. I went through the manga, and it's basically people are fighting and they all have time powers, which is a little cool. But the problem is that everyone has time powers. He said, yeah, it's like you watch any, like Dragon Ball or think of something else that has time powers. But basically, like you watch something. People have time powers, and they usually fight someone has like fire power or something else, right? They have to like, how can I reverse the time of this? Or like Overwatch, Tracer, I can go back and forth, but this guy can tell it, but this guy can like deflect my abilities and blah blah so on, right? And where I can be hacked and so on. So they have the kind of the interaction between time versus higher power, like fire rate or something, right? But it is like everyone has time power. It's like, yeah. So I read it, I was like, this is damn confusing. And it's just kind of like, I don't think the bats were that good, because everyone's just kind of similar, right? Yes, they have like different version of time power. Yeah, the different version of time power, and everyone doesn't. It might be really cool animation, but to me it didn't look cool at all. The trailer either, it looked very, basically, not like battling shonen anime, but everyone has the same power. Well, like at the ratio of the same power, right? So that makes it really boring to me. To me, at least, it looks very, very. Then this anime that you have to watch at least. Is it good or not? I don't know. It's Yuri on land. So yeah, it's like this to me. Ballroom, Youkoso. It's like Yuri on land, right? It's like Yuri on ice. It's like, okay, so it's basically a guy that gets tricked into being like a ballet dancer instead of, doing on the ice. And everyone's really pretty. Of course, all the guys are like super hot. And the girls are pretty as well, but mainly the men are very, very attractive. And then they fight each other with like ballroom dancing instead of, doing stuff on ice. You have to watch it. You have to give it a chance to suppose. It might be really good. But it's kind of like, yeah, okay, so I see it as Yuri on land. That's how I call this anime. Yuri on land. Definitely give it a chance though. Then we have this thing. I read the first volume of this manga, Aho Girl, and I really disliked it. I strongly disliked this anime, Aho Girl. Basically, it's about a girl that's really, really, really stupid. As the name says, Aho. You text very getting stupid, and it's just really flat. This manga is so flat. I think the anime is gonna be better though, but it's because also it's full panel humor. But I think it's just extremely flat. They also basically like she is like, oh yeah, no, let's not study. And her friend, you follow like straight guy, that's the straight guy. That is then her best friend, that is her neighbor. And he's like trying to help her to become smart or something. He's like, let's party instead. He's like, no, let's study. But I want to eat a banana, and it's a banana. Like, that's a joke. There is no joke in there. There is no joke. It's so boring. I read the manga. I was like, how can people buy this thing? Like, it's just boring. Like, the jokes are so simple. They're so mundane. I didn't laugh. Like, I think the first 5 chapters I laughed once for one of the jokes. Right? There are some jokes there. The only thing that was funny is basically that she's always saying to everyone else that he has no friends except her and her mom. And this blonde girl down to the left there is kind of in their group then, right? She's like, you have no friends? And he's like, I could become your friend to the main character. And he's like, no, I don't need friends. I just want to go to school and help my idiot friend here. He's like, oh, you're so pathetic. Like that was like slightly funny. Then there's one scene later when she befriends this like punk ass kid. Because he's like, oh, everyone hates because I'm also stupid. And then they become best friends or something. And that was a little funny. Like that was the anime is boring. I think it's gonna be really boring. Might be better than as anime. I think it's better as anime as a manga. But the manga was crap. Like really boring. It was just boring. The jokes were so boring. So lack of innovation. Then it's a lot of skipping here, honestly. I don't think it's good. Then this is another anime called Isekai Shukuro. Basically, it's about how to say it, like a restaurant that also serves magic people, right? And I'm really bored of this thing, the fantasy mystery things. It wasn't that funny what I could see. Basically, it's just like, yeah, we have this restaurant and we also have weird stuff there. And they all look really boring. I think a problem with anime, there's another anime coming later on, similar to this, is that they try to do like the monster girl thing, right? When you just have like, oh, look at us, we have like a camp tower and we have this and this and this. This is probably really funny because we have this like snake girl and so on. But then the characters themselves are boring, right? You have to make interesting monster girls or interesting monster people to make it work. You can't have a monster person there to have a monster person there, yeah. And this is like, let's just throw in like 20 monsters. But they're all just being there. And then it's boring. It's boring. I didn't laugh at all. It's not coming up later, so similar. This, I got nothing. No, but this is basically... seems to be a Chinese animation of it already. I think this is the Japanese version of this and Chinese thing. It's kind of confusing. So basically, people have, you know, they love like spirit people, like kamis and so on, and when they die and get reincarnated as humans, if it happens, their god can like their like wife or husband from God world can make them remember them or something, and then live with them. And so it's basically one of these like normal human guys suddenly living with you know, a magic god kind of thing. And but he's like plain. I don't know, it's very plain. And I watched a little Chinese version and it was boring. This then is actually on an anime I'm gonna watch. Yeah, this is actually, so this is called Shouko no Altir. It's a little how I say that sounds, but basically it's about a Japanese person. It's basically, there is a Japanese person. There is a manga about Arab people, right? So it's a lot of this kind of like, is this really how it is in like Saudi Arabia and Turkey? It's a lot of this like, I don't know. It's a lot of this like, yeah, this is what happens this is what happens in Japan, like little like that. But basically it's about like a historical manga, but people fighting with magic and, you know, historical, yeah, in Turkey and like the Ottoman Empire, Saudi Arabia today, but like that area, the Middle East, right? And they actually looked pretty good. I read the manga, the first 2 chapters, and they actually were pretty decent. It's a lot of things like, you know, political and so on. Not a manga though I feel like I'm a writer. It was very slow in the beginning. Probably, but an anime I'm giving a chance to it. Definitely giving a chance. Watching the few first episodes. But also means that this anime won't be finished though. The manga is, you know, it's a manga, right? And this anime is not gonna come to the manga conclusion. So it's more like you probably watch the anime, and if you like it, you go read the manga. That's probably gonna happen. But yeah, I think I'm giving it a chance at least. But I probably won't. And this is another one of these like, oh yeah, these kind of young people living in here, they have magic powers. I don't remember this. Nope. And this, however, it's not like weird stuff. So Nanamaru Sanbatsu. There's another anime. I read the manga in the first volume of it before I did this. And it sounded to me like, wow, this sounds really boring. And there was some panty jokes in the beginning that I felt was very unnecessary. Mainly, it's like the main character sees the, well, obviously like the secondary female, as the main female main character, secondary main character, sees her panties like after like 1 minute. And then when they're doing his first quiz challenge, he can't stop thinking about her panties and her ass. And I was like, wasn't that funny? So I was like, I don't know. Okay. Felt very forced. So I don't think it's gonna be the best anime ever, because that was kind of like, okay. However, though, it's an anime. Otherwise, it's an anime about quiz challenges, and it's kind of interesting because it sounds very, very simple. But the issue is that they have to figure out pretty much what is the person gonna say before they say it. So the first volume, or like the first story, is about him realizing that, okay, you know, this is the answer to like what is the longest river. But the actual skill is to hear the announcer to saying, okay, what is the longest? And before you say the word river, you should buzz it and say, oh, that's like Gunghao, that's the best river. Like they're supposed to be like, you know, in these areas. Yeah, it's supposed to like figure out what they're gonna ask you before, which actually is of course a reality too. So I actually find it very interesting because it's definitely some psychology in there. So they're kind of like, okay, because this senpai is like to teach them kind of like, okay, learn how the announcer and how the challenge is set up. But the more you learn about how he or she is speaking and kind of the general flow of it, the more you can figure out, okay, they're gonna say this next time. When they talk about this will be the follow-up question, and so on, right? So they're trying to do that thing. So there's a lot of like psychology with that. I found that very interesting. But also I feel like a very light taking anime though. Like it's called seinen here, and I feel like, yeah, because not that complicated, but I feel like you have to kind of be, you know, focused on it when I read the manga. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And however, they issued a lot of questions though, or just basic facts, right? So they're not that interesting. Like you rather see like one house. You rather see like one house and see like they're fighting each other and like, but baseball you can relate to it. This is more like, yeah, I know a lot of the history, a lot of the facts here, but it's kind of like that. So it's very like, I don't know, but it was interesting actually. Like when I read it, I actually kind of enjoyed it, except like this like very forced. Then oh, this girl that I was very hot, that I also saw her ass. She's gonna be in my team of the debate/quiz, whatever, the debate quiz team, and that's kind of like awkward because she's super serious and I'm super serious, or like super timid, and now we're doing this kind of weird. She's like, oh, it's okay, I'm angry. Yeah, that was very forced, like forced romance thing there. That was unnecessary. I don't know. The other one was great, so it might be good. And then this is another one of these. Oh, let's go back in fighting medieval times, something a little more grown up. Well, yeah, I read this thing in the manga, and I was like, they're out in India. Yeah, I read the manga about it. I actually read the first chapter of the manga, and I was like, the premise makes no sense in the beginning. It looks horrible. So I was like, what the hell? Very interesting. Anyway, the Reflection Wave 1. I know nothing about this anime because it's not really fun, but what we all know is that Stan Lee pretty much running. You know, the man, you know, see all my monster behind me, right? Spider-Man, you know, Green Goblin here, yeah, and every Captain America table there. So there's like a lot of those stuff and so on. Obviously, you know, but from being here, Stan Lee, he's the man behind, you know, pretty much all the more characters, right? Most of them, all the older ones, and he has appeared in in this anime, the Reflection Wave 1, a lot. He made commercial and so on. And so it's gonna be like a new hero worship for him, you know, done by Japanese people, animation. Like we should do that. So this is probably gonna be really good. But it's little to find about it, but I think it's gonna be probably good. Then here's another one, random fantasy. I watched it here. I watched a trailer of it. It's basically, this might work. It's very moe. It's a bunch of, you know, cute girls fighting stuff with pretty much using magic. Hina Logic, I don't know. Yeah, it's like a spin-off of this, like, from Luck and Logic franchise. I don't know. It's just here's another, like, medieval anime mystery thing that they're doing way too much this season. So this is the I don't know, like the religious people from the Vatican, like some kind of inquisitor or something, fighting stuff with magic or it's just, I looked at it, it looked really bad actually, like it's genuinely boring. Like we've seen so many of this, like, oh, here's people fighting with this thing, whatever, I'm skipping it. Here, however, skirt, no, like burning skirt. Yeah, this anime, if you watch the trailer, this is probably really bad anime. It's like, okay, this is just like two girls doing it, and you watch it like, yeah, okay, this is just like hentai. This is like very softcore hentai, but then you read about it, so like actually it's even worse because it's a trap. It's just a damn trap. Oh yeah. So basically, it's a trap. Like we have two girls here, and it's super touchy. It's very hentai. It's very like it's called ecchi here on the page here, but it's more like, you know, softcore hentai. And then you figure out that actually one of these ladies here has a huge dick. That was pretty much right. And it's like, okay, yeah. So it's a trap that is super horny trying to do woman. So it's a cross-dressing man that likes to do woman anime. Okay, so he's not into, you know, the other side yet. So basically, it's a trap. I have to watch it, of course, because I love traps. Like guy traps, obviously the best thing. So yeah, it's like, yeah, babies. The animation of it. Oh god, the characters ever look like small children. So it's another sad face. It's so bad, like animation-wise, in my opinion. And oh god, it's not a sport anime. That reminds me a little of that football anime they had last year. It was just bad. Like, and they're playing football here. So yeah, soccer anime. And it's like, wow, a guy that's force cleaning. I read for the manga. It was really bad. Absolutely recommend it. It's like this sport manga trying to be more funny than sporty, and nothing's happening. It's not funny, and it's not intriguing. It's not pressure. It's another one of my hot guys in water. Hot guys in water. Not good. Yeah, we're in the bottom now. So it's like, yeah, another like spin-off. They have nothing to do of. This is actually a pretty long spin-off of a mystery, which might be okay if you follow it, but not good. And here, no, it's happy face. No happy face. Here we have a Kentaur focused thing, and everyone knows me knows that I love Monster Musume, right? And yeah, Centuria is the best character. Obviously, Monster Musume by far the best character. And so this is an anime. There must be a lot of interview with Demi-chan when I read it, and the first chapter of it. Basically, you know, it's kind of slice of life anime, but instead of being normal humans, they are like, I don't know, you know, Kentaur obviously the main character, and then some other, you know, like Goat Girl or whatever, Bat Girl, so on. But like, those kind of things and how we relate. However, though, it looks like I give it a chance because I love Monster Girl animes, but it looks pretty boring, to be honest. It probably will skip. It probably will like stop watching it after a few episodes, because it reminds me, as I mentioned earlier, with the restaurant thing, where it's like, yeah, here's a lot of monsters, here's a snake, lamia, this. They're like trying to like bring up that, you know, using watching Monster Girl kind of anime, right? They're trying to do that, but it's just kind of like, this isn't funny. Like the characters are just kind of there. They have to have interesting characterization, interesting development with each other, and hopefully based around what kind of, you know, powers they have, right? Just having them like, okay, here's a slice of life anime, normal school anime, just that everyone is some kind of monster, but otherwise just normal people. That probably won't work. So yeah, I'll give it a chance, because it sounds better than the other monster-focused animes here, but it doesn't sound that good. Like it sounds. We will see. Hopefully, I hope it's good. I like the design of the character. Yeah, that's also the thing here. The characters here in this anime, Centaur no Nayami, they have more of a, you know, I would say personal design. You feel it's gonna be about these characters, these monster girls are gonna be in focus. This other restaurant, and we come into this other thing later, this hostel thing. They are both just like more about a human living with monsters that are just monsters and have a lot of monsters, right? So they don't feel very personal. Like they haven't spent enough time developing each monster, and that I think it's bad. I think that's usually a horrible way to do it. So this is something I won't say nothing here because actually no, this was very hard to find. 8GIF is called. I couldn't find much about it, but it's an other gaming thing, and it might be good. But it sounds like a really bad version of the other man they had earlier, so I don't know. But it's very hard to find something about this anime. But it's basically another psychological, gambling anime. So it might be good. I love gambling anime, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna consider it, but it is hard to find. And this is another bad, like medieval thing. It's based on a game though. It's based on a turbo game instead, so it's just like the animation of already written story, and that usually is also bad. By that sense, it usually gets worse because they have to okay, so we have a lot of dialogue, let's animate the dialogue, kind of, right? So usually it's kind of weird. So yeah, like this is just like double negative. Skipping it. And this actually the Robot Monster anime. When I was a kid, I grew up really watching. I loved Robo Wars and Robo Monsters on TV, and this is basically the animation of okay, so they are college students and they are building these murder machines where they fight each other. And that could be really good, like a kind of weird sport shonen, but engineering instead. But how to say it? The problem is there's several problems. I watched all trailers and so on. The biggest problem is that the fights actually look really bad. The fights didn't look good ultimately animation wise, and there was too much the cameras focusing in first person view, and they just felt kind of off. It seems to have too much drama on the characters between each other outside, like some love triangle or something. I think that's the wrong thing to do. Looking like Beyblade. This is more like the action. It's like the grown version of Beyblade, right? And Beyblade just had some revenge thing, some you betrayed our team, but that was it, right? They didn't have who's gonna be this girl in the team. No. They just fought each other with toys, right? And this is it seems to be more of that and some of that. So I'm this kind of takes away some of the story. But the big problem is also think that Robo Wars, the whole thing there, I think it feels good watching on TV and live because it's cool, because they have this big machine, it's crushing this thing, you see the splinters flying, you see that the power of technology. But that has to be in reality, because you have to get that live action feel. I mean, something explodes, that gives you yes, that's an awesome invention. But when you watch the anime here, it just feels like I could just watch a mecha anime instead, right? Big machines fight each other. So there's an anime where they have drawn small flamethrower machines and so on fighting each other. It just feels off to me. To me, it feels really off. And I'm a fan of Robot Wars. I love the TV show. I watched it for years as a kid. Let's say 5 years or something, at least. It's all good solo, really good. Anyway, here's the next monster, as I mentioned earlier. So this is pretty much the same thing as the restaurant thing. But instead of being a restaurant, there's a guy that moves into a hotel or some kind of hostel or something. And there are monsters there, and he's poor and so on. He has no friends. There this is here, and he gets stuck in that place, right? And it is also, as I mentioned earlier, pretty much covered this anime. It looks really bad because it's the same thing again. It's it's about a human, there's a lot of monsters there, but some less monsters, more humans, more mystery, I suppose. But it's the same thing, right? All the monsters and so on is really boring. It's just this random storyline used to have some kind of let's force into the monster here. I think it looks really bad. And this is called, but next year, sorry, but next year is Battle Girl High School. So this is actually an anime based on an iPhone game and so on. So it's bad. No, but this is just gonna be. I looked at the game, and yeah, there's some kind of action RPG-ish game. You probably have to play the game to get anything here. So there's a lot of female characters. They fight each other. They fight monsters. And they do some stuff, right? It's gonna be a lot of quirkiness, a lot of reference to the game, and that they have personality, that they have very strong personality in the game, right? So you have to play the game to kind of get how they work and so on. So basically, if you haven't played the game, you probably get nothing from this anime, nothing at all. This is an anime that I have no idea really, to be honest. Clone no Akagi. Actually, no, I did read part of it, and yeah, this is very hard to say. Very much drama. I don't know. I'm gonna say let's consider this anime because it's like a sick girl that gets lost, and it just felt like I don't know. Yeah, hard to say. And this is another like boring school anime. You know, reverse harem kind of thing. A lot of pretty boys, which I don't mind. But it's like, yeah, they all seem to have no personality. But I can find out, but I can read about it. It's like they have like the main plot isn't very interesting. They don't really like have some kind of concerning thing. Like I'd rather watch like Free unless they do something with the time, right? Here they all like around something like cooking and saying, it's just no. And I don't like Studio Period that either. So yeah, this doesn't look very good to me. Looks pretty boring. And this is another one that's like cute young girls are fighting stuff because they are born with powers or connected with mecha or something. Not in this anime, but I mean generally, like it just seems so. You know, we've seen it before, but we're in really bottom now too. So yeah, it's very unpopular things. But yeah, like we've seen it before. Same thing here. You know, follow up on some weird random anime people fighting. It's another like one. It is from Leftover, one of the easiest animes ever done, Kakegurui no Rin. And then we have this thing, which I really had trouble finding out that's what it's about, Mushani. And basically, it's, I don't know, like, the best thing with it is it has the same name as one of the best mangas ever, Mushashine. One of the best gender-balanced characters ever made, right? That's the only thing I can say about this anime. Because I couldn't find anything about the anime, so I don't know. Maybe Shindu ended it, that would be cool. But I'm just like, I don't know. That's a vibe anime. I like that. I'm gonna give it a chance, probably because of the name alone. But yeah, then we have this like horrible, don't watch anime, super juvenile, like you know, animation wise, so on. Random band anime. This I couldn't find anything about really. Character no Ansa. It's another one of those based on a game and now we make it on anime. So it's probably really bad. But I'm gonna just left it white there. Teikyo, of course, a popular anime. I've never watched in Teikyo, and it's season 9. So I'm skipping here because like if you have watched all the 8 seasons, you probably won't like the season. But yeah, this anime looks. I can see I've seen in my life. The other, like its predecessor. This is like a better version of what's out there. What's out there is one of the ugliest animation ever. Yeah, looks horrible, really horrible. Yeah, this is some kids show, of course. Here, yeah, so that's the bottom. And written that, of course, there's actually gonna be a No Game No Life movie. It's gonna continuation of the anime left over. For some movies, they only cover like one next novel or maybe 2 novels. But obviously, you're gonna watch this. But it gets out. It's gonna be really cool. And then we have the OVAs, as already mentioned. My Academia coming tomorrow. So that's like, yeah. We're gonna watch it tomorrow. It's gonna be awesome. And then we have more Soken no Soma. You know how much I love that anime. Probably because it has a lot of gyros. I mean, this is probably the main reason because it's like gyros. Like Nikumi, right? The best character, obviously, in Soma, and that's Alice. But yeah, so Soken no Soma is getting what's like followation on like with No Game Life there. This is gonna be based after where the anime took off, right? So it's kind of like season 4-ish, 3.5, 3. They have like 1.5 season and 1 season, right? So this is gonna be like followation on the anime left off with the DDs, like they're forced to work it. I'm not sure, but I hope it's gonna be really good. Hopefully it's gonna follow on that. It sounds awesome though. I mean, I love Soken no Soma. And then we have Konosuba. And if you watch my anime, sorry. We have I know all of As's favorite characters. Pretty much wearing her college here. It's more Tidia Blue, but Aqua. Oh my god, I love Aqua so much. We're gonna have a little more Konosuba is coming here in 2 months. And yeah, that for me. Konosuba is still the best anime this year. Like, yes, okay, it has like no storyline, but it is so fun. I'm okay. It is so good, Konosuba. I love Konosuba. It's coming up here this season. It's gonna be freaking awesome. And then we have Haikyuu. Sorry, my mouse. There we have Haikyuu, which is obviously gonna watch that. What? This is to love, yeah, like that's good. But yeah, Haikyuu, and in the bottom here, something I would say should be way higher up. It's my last note here on this movie. Hope you enjoyed it so far. In the model we have freaking Tensho Moyo coming back. You see the image here earlier. Tensho Moyo, I mean, like, horror anime of the world, right? This is like the first horror anime. Huge funny. So we really have some of this season 4 are out. We have more of them are coming in this season. And, you know, I love Tensho Moyo. That's pretty much what I got into anime. This sort of VOS tape when I was a kid. It's just a great, I love Ryoki, but yeah, Ryoko is of course the best character. Yeah, Ryoko, but it's like in the super bottom down here in the chart there, but I really like it. But yeah, to summarize this this season to me at least, it's only like 3, as I mentioned again, 3 animes that I really look forward again. My Hero, you know, Hajimete Gal, and New Games. They're like, yes! You're like, yeah. Then of course have like, you know, okay, we have like Konosuba, like 1 OVA, New Game, 1 OVA, sorry, No Game No Life, I mean, Tensho Moyo, 1 OVA episodes. So it's like, yeah, okay, I'm really looking forward to this episode, but that's not that big. The other elements to me doesn't look that promising. It's actually probably the one where Uni Huttore when had to be married, so that might be a good one. Otherwise, you know, it's just Gyaru. That's this. That's what I'm setting the most. Because it's a new anime too. New game, I know it's going to be really, really good. Probably the anime I really enjoy the most. But it's not a new anime because it's follow-up. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get some clearance here. What to watch, what not to watch really in this coming season here. So I'll see you guys next time and have a great day.